Hey, she Army. How are you doing? Welcome to episode 38 of the Simply Chic Podcast Live. I'm your host, Crystal Renee, and we're back with a special guest today, Jasmine Molock of Mysfit Moon LLC. And today we're talking jewelry. It's one of my most favorite things, and about Jasmine's creative journey to entrepreneurship. So everyone's journey to entrepreneurship looks a little bit different. And our whys are also different as well. Like why we choose to start a business, why we choose to go into entrepreneurship. Um, so I think you never know when like a new direction or new idea is really going to speak to you. And that's the one thing I can say that I've like enjoyed about my journey is that I thought I was going down one path and then I got introduced to something else and I was like, this really speaks to me and this is how I can integrate it into my core values and where I'm really going in life. So from time to time on the show, we like to highlight different types of womanpreneurs in different industries who are really making it happen. And so I just want to show everyone how, despite whatever industry you're in, what you're interested in, you can truly make it happen. You can be successful. So with that being said, I want to introduce Jasmine. I'll just tell you a little bit about her. So after serving 6 years in the United States Army, Captain Jasmine Molock knew that she was equipped with leadership skills and talent to launch her creative journey. She was determined to spread the message of positivity to others as a way to uplift their spirits. When she discovered natural gemstone beading at a local art fair, she was ignited to create her own pieces. She decided to call her company Mysfit Moon. So welcome, Jasmine, to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. Hello, everybody.
So just tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself and your background.
Well, I am from New Jersey. I was raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. So the city right next to New York. And like you said before, I was in the Army for 6 years. I was an Army captain. And then once my time was kind of, coming to a close, I was like, well, I got to start thinking about what I'm going to do next. And at that time, I was like recently engaged. Me and my husband had just gotten engaged, and we were just going to this different transition in our life. And I was just like, well, I know one thing, I don't want to work for anybody else. Because I just knew that I had the experience to still lead a team. And I like that. And I just knew that just from the things I learned being in the Army that I wanted to start my own business, but I just didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. So that took me a while to learn, plus all the, moving, you PCS a lot. So, you got to just figure out what you can do, what's going to be your next path. And that's really hard when you're coming from a military background and wondering what you're gonna do with the rest of your life, you know what I mean? But then I started out painting. I was an abstract painter and I used to go to these fairs and sell my work. And when I saw a vendor, she had jewelry and they were gemstones, I really wasn't familiar with that. And I just loved the way they felt. I loved the heaviness of the stones. I loved the colors. I loved that they came from the earth and that they were just natural. And it just made me feel good and they were pretty and I just loved them. So then I was like, well, I'm going to start trying my own. And then, over time, like I just educated myself on how to do it, the different stones and where to get supplies and everything like that. And it just kind of like slowly, went from there. And then I picked Mysfit Moon, and Mysfit stands for May Your Spirit Find Inner Tranquility. And I wanted that name because I picked the name first because I just thought, well, I went against the grain and I got out. A lot of people didn't want me to get out. They told me I shouldn't get out. They, advised against it and was like, well, you're going to retire early and now you're not, or blah, 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 So projecting their fears on you. But so I was just like, I'm going to call it Mysfit Moon because I know that I didn't fit into the military so much. I was great at my job, and I liked certain things about it, but I just knew I had a more creative calling for my life. So I was just like, I'm gonna call it that. And then I just came up with the acronym because it's just all about peace and positivity, encouraging people. And I just feel like, a lot of people don't have that, especially in the workplace. So that's basically how it came about.
Awesome. Well, I can definitely relate to not fitting in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you don't fit in somewhere, it's kind of like hard to concentrate and
Yes.
really move forward. You kind
Mm-hmm.
of feel stuck. So I definitely applaud you for like not letting other people project their fear zone on you and like keeping it back, like keeping
Mm-hmm.
you like stuck in where you should be. So that's definitely something to be applauded and something that like I don't think should be taken lightly because it's
Yeah,
hard
it
sometimes,
is very
especially when those
hard.
people you care about
Mm-hmm.
are saying those things. Right.
Oh, especially, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what's your favorite piece to wear and why.
I really I have this moon necklace. I'm like sold out of it now, but it's made of halite stone. It's white, and I love anything like white, black, or like gray. I don't know why, but it's made of halite stone. It's like a matte halite, and halite is really good for calming. It's really heavy and it has like the moon charm on it. I love that one. It's like one of our best selling ones. Not to put a plug in there, but I'm just saying it is. And that's my favorite piece because it just reminds me like that's the signature of the brand, and it just reminds me like I started this, like this is, it's just like the reminder, you know what I mean? It just looks really good with everything because it's just the color. So that's my favorite thing to wear,
Okay.
I think.
Cool. Well, I definitely have told you already. I'm telling listeners. So I've been all over Jasmine's site. I've been shopping. And I was like, ooh, I don't know what to choose. So I did pick a few pieces, and I think I may have even picked that piece.
You did pick that. You did pick that one.
So I was like, this is like everything that I want in my life, right? I think I also picked the choker one.
You picked a choker, yep.
Yeah,
You picked
with
an
the three
elephant
layers.
charm necklace, bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot, and earrings. I think earrings.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
the lightning earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm very into jewelry that have sayings, affirmations, and also, of course, gemstones.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a Reiki master, so crystals have healing properties,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of brings me into my next question of what types of properties do the stones have typically that you make that someone experiencing them might feel when they wear them?
Yeah. Well, everything is always a positive meaning. I deal with a lot of different gemstones, so they have all different types of meanings. But a lot of it is harmony, a lot of balance, strength, positivity. And also like the colors are really soothing. And a lot of people tell me like the weight of them, like just how heavy, because real gemstones, you can feel the weight. You can feel the difference between like, say, plastic and then like a real gemstone. So that's very therapeutic too, because just the little gentle pressure that it puts on your skin, maybe on your neck or on your arms, can really be therapeutic for you, and it can relieve anxiety or tension, things like that. So they do have metaphysical meanings, but it's also like the physical meaning too that could help, radiate positivity and make you just feel better. And not only that, the sound of them, like when it's on your arm and you move them around, that sound is very calming. And people tell me that also, like they love the sound when it hits each other, and they always get a couple so that they can, have that sound. And also, like, if you think about it, if you're ever thinking of something and you kind of like play with them, you're kind of, it's that the feeling of the smoothness and the heaviness and the colors and the sounds, all of that works together. So it's all just a very positive, vibe, I guess.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
very interesting you bring that up about when you're thinking about something or stressed and you
Mm-hmm.
like move around your bracelets. Because I
Mm-hmm.
actually do that. One of the stones I wear quite frequently is black tourmaline because
Mm-hmm.
it blocks negativity.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I feel stressed, I just put my hand on my bracelets and I kind of do like this motion.
Yep.
Or like it's kind of moved them around.
Yep.
So I can definitely see how hearing and then also feeling like the bracelets move around would
Mm-hmm.
like be calming, because it's almost like you like an NLP technique.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind is like basically trying to de-stress. So it's
Right.
like if I just kind of, okay, this is positive. Let
Right.
me just put my hand on this positivity. Okay, everything's great. And you
Right.
just move on about your day.
Mm-hmm.
So what what advice would you give someone who hasn't worn stones before?
I would just say, even if you're the type of person, let's say you're the type of, okay, it's like two different types of people. Like, I think in my mind, someone who's like, okay, I don't really believe in that stuff, but I like the way they look. And that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't believe in the metaphysical stuff and you don't feel like it has energy, but you like the way it looks, your energy is somehow attracted to it. So I would just say, go with what you like. If you like it because it's pretty, you like the color, you like the way it feels, put it on. Do that. And then for people who want to get into it, and don't really know, ask, what the stones are made of. Like when you purchase from me, I always write what your stones are that you have. That way you are aware of it, and you know what it means. But look up, what kind of stones go with your type of personality, your energy, the type of things you want to portray, you want to bring into your life and stuff like that. That's what I would do. I do that now, just making my jewelry like, ooh, what kind of stone is that? What kind of, just to tell people. And people want to know, even if they don't really believe in it, they kind of just curious and want to
Mm-hmm.
know what that means, So that's the advice I would give, just starting out. Just go with what you like, what looks good to you, and then go from there and see how it makes you feel. And also be conscious of the days that you do wear it and see, maybe it was a little bit better that day. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it did a something. You know what I mean? I had this one customer. She always buys this one thing from me, and it kept breaking. Like the stone kept breaking, not because like I made it bad, but like she said that when she was around certain people, like she really feels like they drained her energy, and it would like crack or something. And I was like, that is really crazy. Like she was like, I'm telling you, I wouldn't even think of that, but like she was like, there's something like around, I guess, some people she was around. And so just be mindful of what happens when you wear it. You never know, you never
Yeah.
know. And if you feel like it doesn't do anything, at least you looked cute.
Right. Well, that could have been a warning
Mm-hmm.
for her bracelet kept breaking around certain people. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I would just say for people who are skeptical, maybe take more of a scientific approach. Like you said, just see what happens
Yeah.
when you wear it. You never know. If you're conscious of what's happening around you. And also it might just help with that too, like increase your
Mm-hmm.
self-awareness just in general, like for you to pay attention to what's going on around you, and if this certain bracelet or necklace is supposed to make you feel happier or increase positivity coming into your life,
Yeah.
you might see a difference when you're wearing
Yeah.
it. So
Everybody has something that represents something for them. It
mm-hmm.
could be anything. It could be anything. It could be flowers that they love, that they feel like they love in their house, and they feel, I mean, you're not just picking that for no reason. There's a reason why you like that. There's a reason, that's a little bit deeper you may not even be thinking about. So I would say, even if you're skeptical, think about just the normal things in your life, the necklace you wear every day, the bracelet, and how you feel when you don't wear it and
Mm-hmm.
you feel weird or not the same. I mean, there's things in your life that you don't realize that you feel like either protect you or feel like just give you good energy. So think about it that way too. Like this could be one of those things, you never know.
Absolutely. So how do you feel, piggybacking off of that, that the start of this business, this jewelry business, has enhanced or changed your spiritual journey?
I would say, I mean, I am a Christian and I'm like, you know, definitely into the word also, but I feel like more like I don't know, like I don't know how to explain it, but like more like self-love in a way has changed me, because I feel like when I was in the military, I didn't have time to pay attention to myself. You know what I mean? I was ripping and running. I was in a very, very fast-paced unit at the time, and so I didn't have time. I was deploying. I was in the field. I didn't have time to think or listen to myself. And when I started like making jewelry and realizing that it was very therapeutic and meditative for me to make jewelry. It was very fun and relaxing. And then it just led me into, oh, I like Himalayan lamps and I like, you know what I mean? Like different things I started to pay more attention to. So I just feel like more with like the self-care and more with like, I need to stretch more. I need to breathe more. I need to understand intentional breathing. I need to understand how to calm myself down or how to do different things. I feel like it has helped a lot in that area for me. Not so much like, oh, if I go without this, I'm gonna have a bad day. That doesn't really pertain to me because I don't really feel that way. But I do feel like it makes me conscious to always like put a positive, foot forward. And when I'm selling my stuff, and gives me more of an appreciation of what life can actually create because the earth created these things. These aren't made from a factory. The earth created this, so it's more like on that side of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I can definitely identify with that as well. I know we talked, prior to this, but definitely being accepting of healing properties of crystals and like what they may do. Just being open to different things. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong,
right?
But just seeing what effect it has on you in your life,
right?
And like you being positive and being able to think clearly, like you said, practice self-care, just kind of have an overall direction forward. So I feel like that's great. So keeping with that, do you have any one in particular that possibly inspires you or gives you advice that you live by?
Like a person?
Mm-hmm.
I would say my family, definitely. My husband, of course. But really the word, to tell you the truth. That's really what keeps me like focused and gives me the encouragement I need. You know what I mean? I have scriptures all over my house because I need that reminder like it is going to be a good day. It is a great day. Even if, business is bad and things like that. I think my spiritual support system and my family and my husband and things like that really helped me like get through those times because it is hard as an entrepreneur. Like hard is not even the word. It's like it's an uphill battle, especially in the beginning stages. It's very rough and it's very hard, and you need to you need that advice from people to keep you going and go through another day because it gets hard. I know because you own a couple businesses. And it's
like
especially with COVID, that was a whole nother challenge. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are like the people and the things that I rest like my, get my advice from.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think having a strong support system is important. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's business besties, coaches, mentors, things like that. It definitely helps with that process. Like you said, it is an uphill battle, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
And even for someone who has multiple businesses, it's still an uphill battle in the beginning. There's still like a marathon to run when you're getting started. I think a lot of people don't realize that. It's not just like I started a business and that's that's
they're like, now what?
Yeah. And it's interesting you bring up COVID as well, because a lot of businesses had to pivot during that time. And, it's like, especially if you're used to being in person with people. So like one of my businesses is a brick and mortar. It's like people can't come. What do we do? So virtual, right?
Yeah.
If I'm sure you used to going to fairs and things.
Yeah.
So what happens? Virtual fairs, hopefully, or virtual jewelry shows, things like that. So just showing to how, as an entrepreneur, you also have to be able to pivot and think on your feet, and that your business is ever evolving.
Yeah, you know what? I want to ask you: is it hard for you to find mentors, like as a business owner, or like other business owners, like befriend? Like, was that hard for you?
I won't say that it's hard, but you have to know the right people that's always my thing. It's all about being in touch with the right people,
Mm-hmm.
and not like right people in the sense they're super duper successful, but like,
Yeah.
does their energy jive with yours?
Right.
Are they, it's in terms of mentors, have they walked that path? Like,
Mm-hmm.
have they been where you are?
Yeah.
You know, and can they actually be of assistance, provide advice? And everybody can't necessarily provide sales and marketing advice. So sometimes you have to go to several different people to get what you
Right.
actually
Get what you
need.
need. Right.
But I will say one thing that I wish I had done sooner was immerse myself in that culture.
Mm-hmm.
I was very by myself, to myself.
Yeah.
I'm an introvert. So
Really?
yes, yes, I am. I think one of my friends, he says he's a certified introvert. So am I. So, but we step social introvert, I guess, is a nice way
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
put it. We can step outside of our comfort zone. And that's something I've had to practice a lot.
Yeah.
But I will say that I wish I had of kind of made sure I was around like-minded people all the
Right.
time. And so
Right.
now I'm very intentional about who I spend my time with and who
Right.
I let have my time.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that is a huge um, habit to practice in the
Yeah.
beginning. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, so, my friends, Susie, Beth, and whoever
Mm-hmm.
might not have businesses. They're fun to hang out with. But at the end
Right.
of the day, I can't talk to them about
Right.
my
They don't
business.
understand.
Right. And they're like, girl, you work too hard. Or come out to the club with us, or come to, do this, do that. And you're like, no, like for you, it's like, I got to pack these orders up and get them out to the post office so I can ship my customers their
Yes.
order. Right.
Yes.
You would rather like Susie say, hey, I want you to come out for drinks. So I'm going to come over and help you package up these orders.
Yes. And bring the drink with you.
Yes. Right. That's the type of like support, right, we would want to have as
Right.
entrepreneurs. So it's kind of
Exactly.
like in being intentional about who you are befriending and who you're
Right.
spending your time with, because you want those friends to be like, girl, we know you stressed. All right, we're gonna come over, we're gonna help you so that you can come out with us, or you can take a
Right.
nap. Like, I have to
Exactly.
schedule my naps.
Yes,
Yes, I
naps.
do.
Yes, naps. I like those naps. It's
um,
serious.
but yeah, to answer your question, I think it's not necessarily hard. It's just a process,
Yeah, it is a
because
process.
there's a lot of people out there who I guess would call themselves mentors, coaches, but really not. So you just have to kind of have to
Yeah.
be careful
Yeah.
in that sense. And I think our intuition too is key, especially as
Yes.
women. We need to get very good at using our
Yes.
intuition when we're around people. And just if you get that feeling like maybe not,
Yep.
then go with your gut, go with your intuition.
Yeah.
But for sure, that's something I wish I had have done early on, and a lot of that is attributed to just where I was personally in my life and what I was let happening. But
Yeah.
like now that I have like a clear vision, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going to be around these business owners, no
Right.
matter what industry. That's another thing too. Befriend people in different industries. You can
Yes,
learn
that's
things.
very true.
You can learn a lot.
A
And
lot.
that, yeah, and that's one thing. And they may be doing construction, but I guarantee you they're going to teach you something
Oh
that you can
yeah.
implement in your business, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
for sure.
Yep. That's very true.
Yep. So what would you say is one of your most difficult obstacles thus far that you faced?
Um, difficult obstacles probably would be having patience. I have no patience. And so learning that the process, when people say like you really have to embrace the process, that's really true. I have no problem with failure, that type of thing. Like failure is, I'm cool with it. I'm like best friends with failure. I have no issue. But the patience thing is like waiting for orders, waiting for things to come in so you can make things, waiting for the next step, waiting for you to be financially able to afford the next goal or get to the next goal. You know what I mean? Like, just the patience has been seriously challenging for me. Like, and I've learned that like the more patience I have, the more, number one, I enjoy the process, and number two, I don't miss anything. Like, I've actually picked up a lot of things, having the patience, and also having patience with myself. That's a big part too. Like, having patience to know, like, okay, you're doing a good job. You're on the right track. It's slow, but that's okay. It's still moving up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just having patience is probably the most challenging thing for me. One of the most challenging things. There are many, but that's one of the most challenging things.
Yeah. In a world where we have instant gratification, I can understand. Because me too. Like, patience, I'm like, okay. I always tell people you are exactly where you're supposed to be.
Right.
And just really internalizing that. Like, right now, today, this is where I'm supposed to be.
That's where you're supposed to be.
Here, right now.
Right.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
So I understand
Yeah.
what you mean. So similarly, what's the biggest lesson you feel like you've learned so far?
I don't know if it's the biggest lesson, but one of the lessons I learned is to always follow your gut. Like, if your gut tells you, and I mean, I feel like I've always done that, but I think I actually know that's the right thing to do. Like, always follow your gut, because even when people are telling you, and it may seem like you should do one thing, but you just feel like you should do something else, or, I definitely would tell people, like, follow whatever your gut is telling you. If every day you keep thinking about, I want to start this business and I really want to get into this, then you need to just do it. Like, no matter what, even if you don't have any money, even if you got kids you got to take care of, even if you don't have, you got to follow your gut, because you're not going to be satisfied until you like fulfill your curiosity about that, And also, another thing I'm learning still, one of the big lessons is not allowing the success or lack thereof determine your value as a person, because that's really hard. Because when you don't make sales, or you know what I mean, you're having a bad day, and it's like that shouldn't really directly affect you and your mood and how you feel about yourself. Like, you're not a failure, you're not doing bad just because you didn't do as good today as you want, or this month, or this past year. You know what I mean? That's like another thing. Like, when the business is great, you feel great, but then if it's not, you don't. And it really shouldn't be like that, because it's gonna go up and down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's one of the things I've learned too.
Yeah, definitely. Like, one of the other things I always say too is, like, whether you feel like you're worth $10,000,
right,
or $1, you're right.
Right. Whatever you feel, that is right.
Whatever you feel, like, you are correct. There's no wrong answer.
Right.
So, just remembering that, and like remembering your own self-worth, your own value.
Yes.
And no one else determines that but you.
Yes, and your ideas are valid. Like, I'm always telling people, like, I am so extra when it comes to like these ideas I have in my head. But in my head, like, I know that they're not big enough. Like, you know what I mean? For other people, this might be impossible. For me, I'm like, no, it's doable. We're gonna do this. You know what I mean? You get to that. I feel like you have to be a certain type of person also to own a business. Like, you, in your head, you just have a way of thinking about things that other people don't. You will make it possible, basically. You will make the impossible possible at some point or another. You know what I mean? And you're not gonna allow other people's opinions to determine. Like, you have to just, if you think you're dreaming big, I would say go bigger than that, because it's possible. You can achieve that. You know what I mean? Even if right now you're like, I don't have anything, you got to keep those ideas a reality, because they are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. That's another thing too that just reminded me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I definitely have the same like way of thinking. Because true entrepreneurs are visionary.
Right.
Like, I mean, they see far, far, far ahead.
Far down.
You know, they can also see up close, but they
Right.
really see far. So, you know, while you're thinking about the next move, I'm already like 20 moves ahead of you.
Exactly.
Like thinking about what's going to happen in 20 years.
Right.
I want to be.
Exactly.
There's 3 levels, I think. So there's employee, there's CEO, and there's entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I don't. A lot of people think 2. I think that there's 3.
Right.
And like for me, the difference between CEO, entrepreneur is like CEO would be the person that would come in and do awesome at running a franchise.
Right.
Everything's written out. The plans are laid. The plans are made.
Right.
All you got to do is follow the blueprint. Entrepreneurs are making the plans.
Exactly.
And they're rewriting them as things are happening. They're taking in all the external factors, all the internal factors, and they're paving their own way. So you might follow that entrepreneur down path A. They've already gone down B.
Right.
Like, that's just how it works. So I completely agree with that. So what advice would you give women to who are interested in starting a custom jewelry business or getting into that space?
I would say do it. Just do it. Like, just start. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just start something. Just because you know why? Like, I'm also that when we talk about entrepreneurs, I'm also that type of person who encourages other people, and I'll be like, yeah, you could do this and you could do it. You know what I mean? And I'll have great ideas, and a lot of times they won't do anything. Their business will be the same for months and months and months. And I see the potential and I want them to push and go, but just starting is so hard for them. You know, just starting is so difficult. And I encourage one of my friends, my good friends, she owns a business, and I was like, you know, sometimes just do a video, do a video. And she just hates being on camera. And I was like, you know what? In 15 minutes, we're going to do a video. Just like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we'll just do a quick video and we won't post it. We'll just do a video. And it's like, once she did it, she was like so into it. And I'm like, you just have to force yourself to do it. It doesn't matter how many people are looking at you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, if I want to walk down the street and hold up a sign that says, follow Mysfit Moon, I'm going to do it. And I don't care how I look, because just doing it, you're already ahead of a whole millions of people who are just afraid to act, to do one little thing. Right. So that's my advice. Just do it. It doesn't matter. You can start in small steps, but just get it done. Just get it done. And I guess that's a part of my impatience too. Is just like, I just want to get it done. Like, you know what I mean? I just want to act on it. And that's being an entrepreneur. You have to act. You can't sit there and think and wait. And your plan could be great, but if you don't act, what's going to happen? And like I said, I'm not afraid to fail. It doesn't bother me at all. So the acting doesn't,
right.
I'm just like, it's going to happen. If I fail, hey, it's all right. I'm alive.
Yeah. Fail and fail fast so you get to your next success.
Yes. Fail quick. You're going to fail so much. You can't look back and be like, oh, I remember when I did that. That didn't work. But you don't even remember that you did that. Like, you fail so much. You're just like, oh, okay. You're like, it's fine. It's fine. So that's what the advice I would give. Just do it. Just do whatever you want to do.
Yes, absolutely. And guys, just a fun tidbit. Companies like Amazon celebrate failures.
Yeah.
So, like, they literally applaud them. Like, the whole room, the whole team. No, seriously. I was talking to some execs at AWS, and they were like, yeah, they came up with some, like, voice over IP, something phone, Amazon Fire phone. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But anywho, don't want to misquote that.
Yeah.
But they actually celebrated that it failed.
Yeah.
And they invented something else.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that they invented the tablet. I can't remember what the tablet's called. I'm sorry, Amazon, but I can't remember. But seriously, like, it's kind of like you're gonna go through so many of these iterations and things aren't gonna work. But just don't give up. Keep going.
Yeah, don't give up. Don't give up. That's another thing. If you're listening to this, if you see this later, do not give up. When you are broke and when people are looking at you like you're crazy, don't give up. because something will stick. Eventually, something will stick, and you will get that spark to keep going.
Right. And I just want to highlight that Jasmine is a great business bestie because she made her friend do a video.
Yes.
So I don't know if your friend is watching, but like Jasmine's a great business bestie. I'm just saying, just putting the plug in out there. It's not jewelry related.
Yes, you can ask me anything. That's another thing too. Like I had a really hard time in the beginning because no one wanted to help me. Like I've had people literally laugh, like, "Oh, you don't know how to do that," and it's like, don't laugh at me. Like I am starting something. Everyone starts somewhere. Somewhere today there was a new cashier at Target, and they're 42 years old. They know how to do a lot of things. They didn't know how to cashier other than today. You know what I mean? But you can't put people down like that. And people have asked me, well, how do you do this and how do you do that? And I will help people because your success has nothing to do with my path. It's not going to do anything. You're not going to rob me of my customers, my pocket. That's not. And I guess that competition, I've had a lot of close friends too, like that own businesses. And I would ask them something that's like a one-word answer. And I'm like, okay, this is not really helping me. Do you not want to help me? And I don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like help people, encourage people because they're going to want to, it's going to be reciprocated. And even if it's not, so what? You help someone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I feel like with entrepreneurs, I feel like a lot of people just didn't want to help me at all. And I was like, what is me asking how to get my tax ID, like threatening you? You know what I mean? Like, what? But I don't know.
I'm sorry that you went through that. I've experienced it too. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked for help. So I mean, well, I'm the type of person, if you're not going to help me, I'm going to figure it out on my own.
Yep. And I'm going to prove to you, I will figure this out. Shoot.
Right. That's what I say. But you're right though. Definitely help. Like one of the things I always say was that help was not on the way. Help was not on the way for me. But I don't think that's how we should operate. And that's definitely one of my goals is to be that help for other women,
right.
Other women entrepreneurs.
Right.
Like help is on the way. There's somebody there that's been there and that knows what to do. All you need to do is ask.
Yeah.
So, it shouldn't have to be that feeling like, dang, there's no one to help me.
There's no one else. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I understand. So last question, and we'll take some questions from the audience. What new projects are you working on?
Well, right now I am going to be in a subscription box with a company. We can't say yet, but and then I am starting my own subscription boxes for Mysfit Moons in next year in 2021. So I am very excited about that because it gives people, I'm like a gift giver by love language. So I'm already into it. Like, what we're going to put in this box. I'm just so excited about making them. So hopefully we get a lot of subscribers and you get to, get new jewelry every month or however we do it. It's still in the works right now. So that's what I'm working on right now. And later in the future, just open up a brick and mortar because I really would love to sell more than jewelry, clothing and accessories and things like that. And sort of change the way Black people are represented or lack thereof in a lot of boutiques. Mm-hmm. So I want my boutique to really be that, I don't know, representation, I guess. So that's what I'm working on.
That's amazing. Y'all hear that vision? I can just see it already happen. Oh my gosh. Subscription box. Okay, so first of all, I'm definitely in love with the subscription box situation because I love gifts. So it doesn't matter what's in it, literally. You could have sent me pencils and an eraser. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's in this box. It's wrapped up. Let me just, so the unboxing, we should just, that should be a whole thing. I feel like it's going to be an experience no matter what. So I'm excited for you and I can't wait to hear about it and see what box it's in.
I'm telling you, I got some surprises.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And then the boutique thing, I completely agree. So I would love to, I know you're going to open a brick and mortar. So I'm just tell me where it is. I'm in Georgia all the time, so just tell me where it is, or if it's not in Georgia, just tell me where it is. And
I definitely will.
Yes, definitely want to visit, and see what you got going on.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and take some questions.
Sure.
It looks like we have one already. So how can we follow and support Jasmine?
You can follow and support on Instagram. My Instagram is Mysfit Moon. This is how it's spelled. And then Moon, no spaces or anything. And then my Etsy is, if you go on Etsy.com and then you type in my shop, Mysfit Moon with no spaces, my shop will pop up and you can just favorite my shop and you'll get all the stuff, when I update the shop. Awesome. And also on Facebook, of course, Mysfit Moon.
All right. Do we have any other questions? All right. I'm not seeing any.
Don't be shy, people. Ask away.
We love questions.
We love questions. Just ask questions. Probably after this, we're going to have questions.
Yeah. I'll just tag you if we do get, well, it's a comment. Luana saying, congratulations, Jersey girl.
Yay!
Luana's from Jersey too. So.
Oh, did you tell me that already?
No, Luana.
Oh,
not me.
Thank you, Luana.
Yeah, so she's super duper excited.
I'm glad.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Do one more favor for our listeners and just drop all of your social handles and your website one more time, in case someone's catching us at the end.
Okay, so my Instagram is Mysfit Moon, MYSFIT. It's like backwards on the thing, but anyway. MOON. That's the Instagram. My Facebook is Mysfit Moon LLC, I believe. I changed it to LLC. And my Etsy shop is, if you go to etsy.com/shop/Mysfit Moon. That's how you get to that.
Perfect. And guys, if you're listening or watching this later, you'll be able to access Jasmine's information as well as the link to her social media as well as her store in the show notes for this episode 38. And you can access the show notes at www.isimplishe.com/podcast. Again, that's www.isimplishe.com/podcast. And if you guys would like to join a collective of women dedicated to being empowered and becoming their best version of themselves, join the She Army Facebook community. And that link is also in the show notes. So guys, I hope you all have found what we shared to be helpful today. And remember, you too can conquer if you slay hard every day. Thank you, Jasmine.
You're welcome. Thank you.